I didn't think Suamataia was bad on most of our snaps, but also it wasn't dominant either. Like where Simmons, you look at him and there were some snaps like, oh my God, like he just like Barrett Brown just disappeared. Like Suamataia was just like fine, which is okay, but when fine is mixed in with Chernobyl level disaster snaps, then it's not fine anymore.
It's that football show here on KC Sports Over. Tucker Franklin hanging out with Matt Verderame for your Monday edition of that football show. Thank you to our partners, Ben Holiday, Bottled and Bond Bourbon, and Holiday Distillery, getting us through preseason game number 1 for the Kansas City Chiefs. And most of the NFL, too, has played all of their preseason games, their first ones as well. So very excited to break that down and much more with Matt Verderame. Matt, you are in a different location. You are continuing on your training camp tour. Where are you at this time?
I'm in Minnesota. Then I'm in Green Bay. Then 3 days later, I'm in Chicago. Then a week later, I'm in Detroit. And then we're done. But right now, shout out to Verizon because Marriott's Wi-Fi sucks. And so the only thing that is keeping me online right now is a hotspot, which is just... I'm damn silver elite at Marriott. And I'm going to go down and raise some hell later on. This is bullshit, but here we are, and let's if Verizon can get us through 45 minutes or so, kudos to them.
Yeah, shout out! You're coming through a lot better. Peek behind the curtain. This is take 2 of this podcast. We've already recorded this, and we had to cut it. I had to pull the cord on the first recording because I was like, man, I don't know if we can make this work. You're coming through crystal clear, a lot better. So shout out to Verizon, Marriott. They might actually be our Bozo of the week. We might not even have to take anything. Marriott might end up being the Bozo of the week.
The biggest part of this that's unbelievable is I just took the free Wi-Fi because who the fuck wouldn't, right? And I was like, all right, it's Wi-Fi in 2025, right? It's like a rotary phone at this point. And they're like, well, you can upgrade for $7 a day. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. That's stupid. And then got to the point with this thing. I was like, all right, fine. I don't care. I'll eat $7. And then they're like, no, you already chose the free one. Like, what? Like, I'm giving you money. Like, nah, it's all right.
Yeah.
So, great job by the Towneplace Suites here in Bloomington, Minnesota.
We're going to put them on blast. They are the post of the week.
You're fucking kidding me. Like, fix your Wi-Fi. We're at the airport and the Mall of America. You know how many people come here and have business to take care of?
Yeah, that's a great point. That's on
I'm not the only asshole here doing work from the hotel. Like I was at this hotel, by the way, New Year's Eve. I was up here doing a story for the Vikings when I was up here. And the internet worked then. So get your crap together. Fix it.
You know what? We're going to go ahead and give him one of these.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You didn't think you were going to get a Bozo of the week 3 minutes into that football show, but there you go. The Marriott blessed us with a Bozo of the week.
Fucking Towneplace Suites. What a stupid name.
I told you I don't know if I've ever stayed at a Towneplace Suites. Maybe I will. Maybe not after this.
It's a fairly nice hotel. The problem is apparently you need hardwired internet and like a one of those big fucking satellites on the top of the roof that you saw people have in like 1991 when they wanted to pull in like HBO. Apparently you need that. Maybe that's what Towneplace Suites needs. It's one of those signs outside that says like no vacancy and like HBO included. I feel like that was like the poor man's strip joint. It was like back in the day, like when you saw like the HBO was included, you're like, might get something raunchy after midnight. I feel like that was just a poor man's like, I can't afford the strip joint, but like, hell, free HBO at the motel, all right.
Well, look, that's gonna be us at after midnight doing a post-game show about the Seattle Seahawks and Kansas City Chiefs preseason game on Friday night. So I do hope everyone chooses to join us if you are still awake. Look, also, if you go to bed before that game's over, I'm not going to call you a fake fan. I would actually be very reasonable if you went to bed before. Like when Patrick Mahomes puts on his hat I think that's probably if you're just like, you know what, got to get up tomorrow morning, get some yard work done, maybe. Got to go to church, possibly, because, oh, wait, no, it's Friday. So but you got to run some errands, whatever it is. That's probably a good time to hit the hay is when Patrick Mahomes puts that hat on.
I am legitimately concerned, frankly, about people who are up till like 1 o'clock in the morning watching the fourth quarter of that game. Like, I mean, I'm going to do it because
they're not getting paid to do it, to be fair. Yeah.
But you're like, that's, as you would say, to your word, that's borderline terrorism by the NFL. That game
it really is.
If you're in the East Coast, that game's going on to like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Matty told us he's not doing the post-game show. Matty already said there's no way I'm doing a post-game show after that one.
Normally I'd just call him weak, but he's 1,000% right.
It's going to be 1:30 in the morning on his time.
To break down like Christian Roland Wallace tape. Jesus. There's a good chance that like Veach is asleep by the time that game's over.
Yeah. But like, why don't they? I know it's on a Friday, but like, how come they couldn't kick it off at like 5 p.m. local time? You know, which would be 7 time.
Central.
Yeah, 7 Central. Like, yeah.
There's no look. It's a preseason game,
right?
There is no world that game needs to start in like a prime time. I think we played at noon. Okay, give me a break. The idea that like that game's got to be played then, you know, like
it's very funny.
It is funny. That was the only saving grace of the Chiefs Cardinals game was the fact that it was on at 7 o'clock Central. And also, look, before we even get to that game, so obviously we are going to get into it.
Right.
Kyler Murray's interception is one of the most hilarious throws I've seen in NFL history. Like it was when he threw it before you could see Jaden Hicks. I thought he had somebody absolutely wide open, and turns out he did. He had Jaden Hicks wide open.
Jaden Hicks, yeah.
He threw that ball. Like, all I got to do is guide it to this guy, and he's going to walk in for 6. And I was like, oh, man, somebody blew coverage. And then he threw it, and I had a brief moment of like, am I losing my mind, or is that a player on the Chiefs? Like, because he couldn't have put it in a better spot. He threw it like 20 miles an hour. I still can't figure out where the hell the ball's supposed to go. Like, Harrison was like back there, but like was like 10 yards past Hicks. Like, it was
right.
It was one of the weirdest throws I've ever seen a player make at any level of football in any game. It was bizarre.
I tweeted something about like, hey, shout out for Jaden Hicks for that pick. And then I was return, right? I was like, but also, what the fuck was Kyler looking at? Because like, they showed the replay from like the end zone angle, right? Yeah. And you could like see it, and you're just like, because you could see then Hicks in the same frame as like Kyler, and you're like, what? What was this dude looking like? It made zero sense why he threw it directly to Jaden Hicks.
There's like a 75% chance he was thinking about something in Call of Duty and just rifled the ball at Hicks. I was like, oh crap, never mind. In a weird way, I do actually kind of get, and this is going to sound like a huge homer thing, but I actually mean this. Like, there's a little part of me that gives Hicks credit for catching that ball because that had to be one of those moments in his head where he was like, is this happening? Yeah. Like almost like so easy that like those are the ones that get dropped because it's like, oh my God, it just, it's almost easier to catch a ball just in real time. Like it's kind of like in baseball. Somebody throws an eephus pitch. Like,
right. Yeah.
Like if you're like Albert Pujols, you should hit that out 100 times out of 100, but like you don't because it's 40 miles an hour and you've got so much time to think about it. Then they're like popping it up. Whereas like if some guy throws an 85-mile-an-hour changeup, it just leaves a belt high. It's like athletic reaction. Jaden Hicks had to have seen that ball coming and been like, "Am I like what? Hey, really? Okay." Yeah, that was a bizarre play. And then the Cardinals also just like screwed up the opening kickoff and fumbled it. The Chiefs just immediately like one passing play, two actual plays, Pacheco's run. It's like in the end zone. Oh, that's it for Mahomes. He's done.
Yeah.
Did
you think that he was going to come back out after like when they scored? You're like, okay, yeah, that's. I know that Andy always says the one quarter and then he actually does a drive. But I was thinking like, oh, there was only 2 plays, so like maybe he's maybe he wants to get him like an actual setup drive, right? Not one of those like short field things where they can run a script. No, he didn't.
The only reason I was really confident they wouldn't was that field is such a train wreck every time they play there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I was like, he's not putting him out there. That's a perfect excuse Andy needs to just be like, all right, then, great, touchdown. It was funny, like, if you go and look at that game, so Worthy played in the game, but never had a target.
Mhm.
Like, he barely played.
Right.
Noah Gray never had a target. Travis Kelce didn't have a target.
Yep.
Of course, Rashee Rice and Hollywood Brown didn't for obvious reasons. And then Sky Moore had a target.
He did, yeah.
You know, the old Sky Moore Memorial box score. Unbelievable.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
My favorite play, though, with Sky Moore, we can just get this obligatory shot out of the way, was like,
Yeah.
it was the second quarter, I believe. Minshew was in the game, and they threw a wide receiver screen. I believe it was the Royals.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Sky Moore has one job on this play. Like, hey, man, block the corner. Like, and you're a receiver. Like, no one's expecting you to, like, form block this guy into oblivion. Like,
Yeah.
throw yourself in front of him in any way, shape, or doesn't even touch him. Guy gets blown up for lots. Like, you have to be able to do that. Like, if you're Xavier Worthy and you do, like, okay, fine, whatever, right? Like, bro, you're like, it's like if Tyquan Thornton misses the ball, you have to be able to. You have to do that at this point in your career. And it was just, I was like, yeah, it was of the positives that there were, and there were many. The two things I walked away from, and I said this to you off the air, and during the first time when I was actually relying on Marriott to do its job, was like, yeah, that's right, Towneplace Suites in Bloomington. Fucking, I see you. But
Shoot the shots over here.
I should just get him on the phone right now. Get the front desk on the phone. Put him on speaker. Yeah, I just want you to know, thousands of people know you're garbage. And then just click, hang up. But the one negative takeaway I'll take from that game, well, one of a few, but like Sky Moore and Najee Johnson, I just don't.
Yeah.
Your point. Like, I really don't. I don't know what the point is, and I'm not going to harp on it because it's not worth harping on. But I really, genuinely, like, I don't know what the argument is. Najee Johnson, he's like cornerback 6, fine, whatever. But like Noel Williams went out there, and I got to tell you, like, I heard what you said on the show. You were propping up with Swanson and Lane, and I got to tell you, like, Noel Williams was hitting everything in sight, and
yeah.
He was physical at the point of attack. He was physical at the catch point. I was like, I'll live with this guy getting a couple of penalties and being Rashad Breeland. I don't care. Like, he's there. He's physically involved in the game. And so, I don't know. Like, that was my quote unquote negative takeaway. Was like, I just don't understand how you walk out of St. Joe's and out of the training camp and yeah, these two guys are going to make the team. I'm like, one of them's going to play real snaps. Like, really? Can anyone explain why? Other than just like they've been around and stuff, because like I think that's the entire argument.
Here's the thing too about the Sky Moore thing. I understand that Rashee Rice and Hollywood Brown both were in street clothes. But Tyquan Thornton started the game with the ones, and like, to be fair, incredible adjustment. Truthfully, Mahomes doesn't throw a lot of those. Mahomes doesn't throw a lot of those balls, so that's why I was like, first off, I was like, oh shit, Mahomes threw a back shoulder ball? He doesn't really do that a whole lot. And then Brownlee, great catch. But the first, I guess it's not necessarily considered a target of the box score, but he threw the first pass to Thornton. But it was a pass interference, so it's not actually an attempt. But his first instinct was to go to Tyquan Thornton in this red zone. I think it was an RPO is what it was. Also, the draw on the first play of the game that they did, I was like, wow, they don't run a whole lot of these, but I kind of like that with Pacheco, the draw action there.
And then as the game went on, Thornton torched everybody in the Cardinal secondary. And I mean, Bailey Zappi just made a horrific throw. But like, if the throw's even halfway decent, like Thornton's still running.
Yes.
But look, like, to move to the positive side, Tyquan Thornton continues to look like a guy who it's like, okay, like I have come around on it from the standpoint. I still think it's really, really hard to make a case that he's going to be like a real plus player for them this year. Like, they just have some sense.
Yeah.
But I will say this, like, it has gotten kind of to the point of like, okay, if Rice is suspended to start the year and you have Worthy and you have Brown, that third spot is kind of sitting there. Like it's
Yeah.
Juju and it's Royals, but like they're more inside guys. I mean, Royals can certainly move around. Juju's more of a slot guy at this point in his career. But Thornton's a guy who could like play outside and run, like really run. And that's something that, Royals being a rookie, Juju at this point, just at a different juncture of his career, like they don't have that, those guys right now. Royals maybe becomes that guy at some point. Fine. He's not that guy right now. I'm actually kind of to the point I'm legitimately wondering, like, does Thornton get real time with them? Like week one? Like, is he just out there, like, really? Because you know it as well as I do. One thing that is a very big indicator, Mahomes is throwing to him constantly.
Yeah.
At practice, he throws to him all the time. From every report I've seen, and when I was there, the first 2 throws in team periods were both to Tyquan Thornton. Like, he just throws him, and Thornton keeps catching the football. And to be fair to Thornton on that DPI, like, if the guy's not draped all over him, it's a touchdown. Like, he beat the guy inside. He's open. And then again, Bailey Zappi threw the ball like he kicked it, essentially. But otherwise, like Thornton's wide open for a 70-yard touchdown. But I thought he played really well. We're going to, of course, get into this. Joshua Simmons, listen, I get it. It's like 11 snaps. I don't know what else you could have asked out of Simmons in that game.
Right. Yeah.
He looked great. Juwan Taylor only played 2 snaps. He only played the first, like, quote-unquote drive. And then, it was, more after that. But, yeah, I walked away from it being like, all right. I mean, I thought Royals played well when he played with Minshew. He had a couple of nice catches. Like, I think offensively, they should be pretty happy with how things are, with the caveat of, you saw Mahomes for like 3 seconds, but that's what preseason's all about.
I think technically his play time was 48 seconds, is how long he was like on the field of game time. Yeah. 48 game seconds, 1 for 1, 1 touchdown, 1 yard is what his final stat. That's what his final stat line was. He's like, all right, yeah, I think he's a starter. I think he's got this one locked down. Also, like, I do think Minshew played pretty decent too. Like, he played a lot better than like what Carson Wentz did. So,
yeah, no, he was fine. Minshew was fine. I thought he was fine. I thought Kareem Hunt looked fine. Kareem Hunt looked like Kareem Hunt. Nothing crazy, but like just his
10-yard run. That's a big run for him.
Turned on the afterburners there. I got outside. No, I mean, listen, I thought Moore for the most part looked pretty good. I was trying to watch him closely, and he looked there. I mean, look, the big conversation is going to be based off Sua Matea and how he played. And I got to tell you, I went back and I watched his snaps a couple times, 2 or 3 times. And one thing I will say, and I have been somebody who's been critical of him throughout, because I just thought last year it was terrible.
Right.
Everybody's going to make a meal out of that 1 snap where I can't really tell. I don't think he tripped over Creed. Maybe he did, but like, I'm not going to sit there and say that's what happened. Like, it's hard to tell. I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt on that. Like, he got bull rushed 18 yards into the backfield on that play by a blitzing player. That it just can't happen. That's like Mahomes is like eating turf on a play like that in a regular season game. Okay. I will say this. I went back and watched his others. Like, I actually thought he played reasonably well outside of that snap. Now, the problem is that snap exists. And like, if that happens 3 times in a game, you're a disaster at guard. Like,
right.
This is the National Football League. You can't have, I had, 60 good snaps and 10 horrific ones. No, that doesn't work like that. You can't. You're going to have some snaps you get beat. Everybody knows that. But the snaps you get beat have to be a slow death. They can't just be, hey, I just got destroyed the second the ball got snapped. Especially inside. Mahomes has no shot. The play's over instantly if something like that happens. So I do wonder, they've made it a point to get more out on the field with the first team, whether it has been a guard, whether it's been mostly a right tackle. I wonder this week going back to training camp at St. Joe's here, which I'm sure the players are just thrilled about.
Yeah.
Just awesome. Back to the dorms, guys. Like, you do wonder, do they give more some run here? Because like, I didn't think Sua Matea was bad on most of your snaps, but also like, it wasn't dominant either. Like, where Simmons, you look at him and there were some snaps like, oh my God, like he just like Barrett Brown just disappeared. Like Sua Matea was just like fine, which is okay, but when fine is mixed in with Chernobyl level disaster snaps, then it's not fine anymore. So I'm very curious to see how they look at it.
I want to see a little bit more of Jalen Moore at the left guard. I know he hasn't played inside a whole lot, and Andy made that clear. Just like, yeah, we're just trying to make sure we work everybody everywhere, and he's always kind of been coy with the offensive line and how they want to do it. But is Kingsley a part of the 5 best offensive linemen that they have? I'm not certainly sold on that. Especially, you're right. I think that one play of where the blitzer came and ate his lunch and took his lunch money is going to stick out to a lot of people. And it did. And I could say from the post game show, like a lot of people wanted to talk about that in the chat after the match, and they should want to talk about that. I do think that they did it. They came back and did it the next play, and he was able to hold his ground a little bit more on that, which is good. It's always good to see him adjust. But like that happened week 18. Like Zach Allen on the very first play took his lunch money and made him look like a fool, and then he did adjust. But like that can't happen from the inside. You're 100% right.
Here's the problem with all this. Okay, like the Chargers don't have an elite defensive tackle. They do have. I screw this poor guy's name up every single time, but it's like Tuilopu or
I think it was close enough.
Fine, he's a good player. Week 2, you have Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Week 3, you have Dexter Lawrence, and week 4,
that defensive line is nasty. The whole line, the whole defensive line.
That might be the best defensive line in football.
Yeah.
And then week 4, you've got Matabike. Okay, like I got new. Like they can't fuck around with this.
Mm-hmm.
This cannot be one of these things where, like, look. I get killed all the time on Twitter from like Bills fans. Like, you're just a homer, and I'm like, what do you want me to say? They win the Super Bowl every year. Like, you want to come out and just kill them? Like, oh, I can't believe they lost 2 games this year. Like, but
right.
The one criticism I do think is valid of them over the years, they as a coaching staff take forever to adjust personnel wise. They will sit there and they will. I mean. They won the Super Bowl in 2023, so again, like really hard to criticize them overall.
For sure.
It took them 3/4 of the year to stop playing Kadarius Toney. Like they just wouldn't stop. You're like, guys, are you alive? Do you have the gift of sight? Like, he can't play. He stinks. He can't do it. Yeah. Like, and it took Mahomes screaming about it in New England for them to finally be like, all right, like it's over, and now he's going on IR, and that's it. And you just, I mean, we saw that with years ago with Sorensen and Neiman, where Sorensen was running like he had a broken ankle, and they just kept him in there, and they're like, it's cool. He's our guy. Like,
yeah.
My big concern, and I'm not basing it off of one game or a handful of snaps with Suamatia, but like based off of what we've seen to this point at tackle and at guard. When he loses so badly. There's going to come a point, Mahomes is going to get hurt. Like, there's just going to be a snap where Jalen Carter just swim moves him and Mahomes isn't ready for it and he gets buried on his shoulder or something. Like, and if you're Andy Reid, obviously, your number one priority is keeping that guy upright. Because if he's upright, they can win the Super Bowl no matter what. Like, they are always in it. And I just wonder if you're the Chiefs, can you really sit there and say that guy is one of the 5 best offensive linemen on this football team? I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to that question, but I think you have to have a real conversation with yourselves if you're the Chiefs. You cannot go into the season and go, well, we don't think he's that good, but let's give it a month.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not a receiver who, if he sucks, like you can just go, all right, whatever. Like Mahomes will just make it work with the other 9 guys plus himself on the field.
Right.
He's in front of Mahomes. Like you can't sit there and just go, it's okay. Like it's not. So I'm very curious. Would you start him in the week 2 game, the preseason game?
Kingsley, yeah, probably, but I don't recall seeing Jalen Moore. Did Jalen Moore go to left guard?
Played right tackle.
Right, he played right tackle. So I want to see Jalen Moore get some left guard snaps if they are even entertaining it, or if this is just something that they're goofing around with in practice, whatever. But like, I would like for there to actually be a competition. Like we talked about this about him with the left tackle last year. It wasn't actually a competition for him last year at left tackle. He was kind of like the left tackle by default because Wanya Morris was dealing with that knee injury. Yep. And they were like, all right, well, we got you here. Well, you'll be our left tackle. And it doesn't really feel like it's been a left tackle contest with, or left guard, I should say, contest with Caliendo, like they said it was going to be. And
no, he's just kind of
Mike Caliendo's probably Yeah. And so that's the thing that I worry about is they're just going to give Kingsley the job again. And you mentioned, Matt, that this coaching staff is so slow to change all personnel wise. They weren't with left tackle last year. They pulled that trigger quicker than they usually do on especially on the offensive line. The offensive line, man, is something that they want to set and forget and not mess with the continuity. So that's what makes it so interesting to me that they're, number one, willing to give this guy another shot at starting on the left side of the offensive line at a position, and that they're willing to, not have not necessarily have that deep of a competition, I guess, for him, for a guy that they quickly gave the hook in week 3, week 2 of the season, week 2.
Trey Hendrickson was just annihilating him. Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah. Look, you make a really good point, though. They did yank him quickly. And I just think if you're the Chiefs, that is the one area you cannot screw with it. That cannot be one of these things where you're just like, well, we'll see what happens. It can't. It cannot happen. Like I mentioned earlier, Najee Johnson. Listen, I mean, he's just. I don't think I'm breaking news here.
He's coming out.
Okay, yep. I understand if they want to sit there and like, well, we can get away with certain things with him. Like, I mean, I still don't agree with it, but I get it. Like, it's not going to sink your season. But like, I watched a kid like Noah Williams, as I mentioned earlier, and I know you mentioned on the postgame show. Look, I'm not saying that Noah Williams is Deion Sanders, but here's what I will tell you about Noah Williams: he's going to hit you, and he's going to get in your face, and he's going to play press man coverage, which is what they want to do.
Yep.
And I will live with that guy getting a hands to the face penalty once again. I don't care. Like, as long as it's not in some backbreaking spot, I really don't care if he gets it on 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. Like, they'll live. They'll be okay. I would rather have a guy who's going to go out and contest catches and contest balls and be in the guy's face and break up routes before they even happen because he's screwing it at the timing. And I just think, I'll give you another guy. I thought, forget the box score, because I know he led the team in tackles. I didn't care about that. Bosa played really well.
Yeah, he did.
Like, that one, I thought the most impressive play any Chief made in that game was that 3rd and 1 stop where he submarined through the line, basically got up on like his knees and just tackled the running back in his tracks.
Yeah.
I know that kid can cover. He's a converted safety. I watched him on Wednesday, and he was the best cover linebacker that had been a mile. Like, if that dude can even remotely play the run like that and blitz the way he did,
right?
Like, again, to the point where we've been talking about here, nothing against Jack Cochran or Cole Christensen. Like, fine special teams players, and Cochran in a pinch can come in and play some defensive snaps. That's fine. You're going to tell me that kid's not a better asset to you on defense than, because I got to tell you, I watched Cochran and Christensen in that game against Jacoby Brissett, and it wasn't good. Okay? It was not good. And I just, like, if you're the Chiefs, because you're so good, you have the luxury to play that kid.
Yeah.
Like, what's going to happen? Like, what is the worst thing that's going to happen? He has no idea what the hell he's doing. All right, fine, take him out again. But I thought he played really well. I thought overall, to be honest, as a team, they played fine. I am worried about Kingsley a little bit. I mean, look, if they got to go to their 3rd string quarterback, it's over. But that's true of every team in the league. I thought the corner thing, I don't really care, because like now that Fulton's off a pup, like the big thing is going to be they better stay healthy, because
get start quick.
Going to be a lot of zone. They're not guarding anybody 1-on-1 with Jamari Conner and Najee Johnson. So yeah, and Joshua Williams, by the way, I think he's getting cut.
Yeah, he probably is.
He didn't even play until the 4th quarter of the game.
You know who else was playing pretty deep in the 4th quarter of that game?
Felix.
Yeah,
Felix. It's he's going to make the team, but it's over.
He benefits from playing at a position that is pretty thin.
Yeah.
And if they had maybe one more pass rusher that you felt pretty good about,
might get cut or traded.
Yeah, but he's going to make the team because of the numbers game. But I said this on a post game show. I think I've seen enough of Felix. I think I've seen enough.
Dude, it's just like, I hate to say it because I'm nothing against them or anything, but there's just nothing there. There's nothing there. He can't. When you play at that position, look, the great edge rushers, they can do speed and power, and they've got fine. But like, you've got to have one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be able to just consistently win one way. Okay, look, I can bull rush this guy, I can speed rush this guy, and like, if you can do one of those things consistently, you may not be a great player, but you're going to be a player that's in the league for 8-10 years. Like, Mike Dana, for example.
Yeah,
Mike Dana he's a strong dude. He can occasionally he's getting the guy's chest and bull rush him, and that's it. Like, he's never going to win being a 4-4 guy around the edge, but he's going to be in the league for 10 years because you can win a certain amount. Alan Bailey was like that, and then you watch Felix, and it's like, what do you do? Like, what is your, like, if it's 3rd and 9, the game's on the line, you got to have it. What's your go-to? I have no idea what it is. And that's, now on the flip side, it's a big problem. I thought Jalot played pretty well in the game. He's athletic. Like, that guy, dude, there was one play, I think it was a run. It was either a run or a quick screen. I think it was a run. He knifed inside like 1,000 miles an hour, which is not his job. He is supposed to, like, hold contain there. I think. I always preface it because I'm not in the world, but, like, I think he's supposed to hold contain there. He knifes inside. Running back, it's outside of him. He pirouetted and turned around and ran and tackled the guy for a 3-yard gain. And I was like, that's different.
Yeah.
Like, most guys who are DNs are completely out of the play at that point. He just turned around. I was like, no, that's all right. I got it. And hit it. And I was like, that's all right. Like, I was impressed by his athleticism. And then there was Norman Lott, who I would agree with all of your assessments. He stepped out there, and I was like, he gained weight.
Yeah.
I'm assuming on purpose. But
Hope so.
yeah, I really hope so. I really hope so. But yeah, all in all, like, I thought they were fine. Like, there was nothing that happened in that game that I walked away from it. I was like, oh my God, they're done going to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
It's like, all right, cool. They look fine. They don't have the quarterback who made one of the worst throws in NFL history in that game. So that's a win.
It's the way they did have Shane Buechele though, and he was pretty close to making those throws and the worst throws in NFL history. I said Shane Buechele. Sorry for the Shane Buechele slander. I meant Bailey Zappi is what I meant.
It's by the way, on a complete aside, did you see the Bo Nix safety?
Legitimately one of the funniest clips I've ever seen in my life. I quote tweeted it and I said, well, let me see if I can find it because I just saw it. I wonder how this shows up in Sean Payton's formula.
Oh, yeah, nice job. I mean, that was so bad.
I gotta watch it again.
I actually was like somewhat taken aback by it. And I was like, you're in your second year, and you had a pretty good rookie season. Like, to be fair, like, he just completely panicked and freaked out and just wailed the ball like 30 yards out of bounds from the end zone. And I was like,
yeah, it's like 7 yards until the line of scrimmage. I'm watching it again. It's like it's not even close to getting back to the line of scrimmage.
He's not out of the tackle box. Everything's gone wrong. It's just a complete disaster. And like, it's on, like, even though he didn't run out of the back of the end zone, it's like a Dan Orlovsky level disaster.
Pretty darn close.
It's like, what are you doing? I don't know. I got a lot of questions. But yeah, look, the bottom line is every team that didn't get a major injury walked out of week 1 in the preseason as a winner. That's reality. Like, every single team that walked out of there was like, great. Nobody got hurt. That's going to sink our season. That's all we care about.
Obviously, the Chiefs did have the Deion Bush injury. I think we brought that up, but his Achilles is Dunzo. It's really unfortunate for Deion Bush because that might be Dunzo for Deion Bush's career, truthfully, which is a big bummer. He plays a lot of special teams guy for the Chiefs. In the last few years, he'd been kind of a staple on there. But I mean, Tyquan Thornton was playing a lot of the gunner reps. I don't know if you saw that.
You mentioned
he was playing a lot of special teams.
That's a really good and important point by you because he has never played a special team snap in his career in the NFL.
Oh,
and I saw him on the opening kickoff.
Yeah,
and immediately was like, that fucking guy's making the tape. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not like he came over as some great special teamer from New England.
Right.
They took him and were like, he's important enough to us that we got to figure out a way to get him on the field to justify him being in the roster.
Yeah.
And so if he's going to be wide receiver 5 or 6, like he's got to play teams. And that was one thing we've talked about. I was like, I don't know if he's going to make the team based on that. Like he doesn't play special teams. But then he did. Correct me if I'm wrong, he returned the punt as well, didn't he?
I don't know if he's returned a punt. He might have been back there on kickoff return. I don't know Williams had a kickoff return. He had the second longest kickoff return, actually. But I don't know if Tyquan got a return. He might have been back there on kickoff return.
Okay. Because I noticed that at first I saw the number 2 and I'm like, oh, Joshua Williams, like just reflexively. They're like, no, not Joshua Williams. Like that's Tyquan Thornton. I found that really interesting. Like,
oh, I did return a punt. Yeah, you're right. One return for 7 yards.
He's been working out with the returners, but it was
long and
to me stuff like that's illuminating. Like Noel Williams being out there all the time on special teams, like not that it was like he was, he wasn't in doubt of making the team, but like that stuff tells you something. When guys are out there and they're new to the team and they're out there a lot, Bass is another guy. Like it's okay that you're gonna be a real deal part of this thing. Thornton being out there immediately, like he's on the starting special teams, tells me he's making that team.
Yeah.
Like that would be surprising to me at this point if he doesn't make the team. Because I really thought like that would be the argument against him, is just he's never played teams. And if he doesn't now, then like maybe they look at it and go, well, we need a guy who can play special teams on the back end of the role. Well, if he can do it, then they're in pretty good shape.
Yeah. And he looks good. I mean, aesthetically, looks great. Number 2. Number 2 is a great number for a wide receiver, I think. But I think that he looked good, looked comfortable in there too. Last guy that we didn't talk about, we kind of talked about him a while for on the post game show. I got to give more flowers to Big Bob Tunyon, because I know that we were on this here program a week ago, and we were like, Big Bob's the third tight end here. Like, that's kind of weird. We know that they love Jared Wiley, but he's listed as the third tight end on this unofficial official depth chart. So that was kind of weird. And then he goes out there and leads all receivers with 3 catches, 49 yards. And you're like, oh, he can not only is he the inline blocker type that they've been missing in this tight end room, he is also apparently a weapon in the receiving game that they've been needing as well. Sure. Okay. That's fine. But I was kind of impressed with how Big Bob Tunyon played. And I think that he cemented himself comfortably as tight end 3.
Yeah. That's a big miss by me, because I was basically like, yeah, all right, whatever. Like, I didn't care that he caught the passes that he caught. I'm like, all right, fine. He was in there against 2s and 3s.
Yeah.
But you guys in the post game made a very good point that I was like, oh, yeah, geez, yeah, you're right. Like, he's the best blocking tight end they have.
Yeah.
And that's something that they care about. And if he can be like better Blake Bell, great. Like, that's what they want. So, yeah, I think you guys are spot on. I'm a bozo there. Like, he is probably going to make the team. I think it's pretty obvious as long as he stays healthy. Robert Tunyon was like actually pretty good in Green Bay before he tore his
I was a big Bob Tunyon fan, truthfully, coming out. When he was coming out, he had that little bit of a run there with Green Bay, and I was like, oh, I like this guy.
The most Chargers thing that can possibly happen is week 1, Tyquan Thornton and Robert Tunyon is just lighting him up. The Chiefs just bombs away Tyquan Thornton, and meanwhile Quentin Johnson has like 3 targets, 3 drops, and like -8 yards somehow despite not catching a pass. Like, I feel like that's, that would be the most. The Chargers lose because Tyquan Thornton has like 6 and like $170 and a touchdown, and Tunyon's like got 2 in the red zone. Just like matched up 1-on-1 with like Khalil Mack. Yeah, just toasting him. It's just it was interesting. I think we're to a point with the Chiefs where we pretty much know the roster. I mean, we don't have to sit here and run the whole thing down. I think there's maybe like 1 or 2 spots up for grabs at this juncture. Like, we brought a pretty good idea of who's making it, and it's like just a question of like, do you keep 6 or 7 on one spot, or something like that. But no, I thought I mean. The one thing you guys said in the post game that I totally hear you, because you guys, like, nobody was wrong, but I'm just going to go the other way on this one, is like, I will not hear any of the Mike Edwards slander. Look, he looked like he was running in cement. Like, no one's arguing that point.
He did, yeah. That's tough.
He did. At the same point, he's a crafty vet and knows this is week 1 of the preseason. And Mike Edwards was never good because he was fast. He's good because he's smart.
Yeah.
And
phenomenal spin zone, by the way. I love that spin zone. I'll get behind that.
I think he's just. I honest to God, like I'm not worried about him. And like, look, I'm not saying there's absolutely a world where he's cut like week 6, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying he was good for them not because he was running a 4.340. He was good because he's very instinctual. And guys like that tend to just age like fine wine. Like they're just good forever because they just know where to be, and they don't like. It's almost like giving them like a 3-step head start. I am far more worried about Chamari Connor playing in the slot, which has to stop immediately. Like,
Mhm.
please make it stop. Obviously, McDuffie's the number one option, but like I think it was Ken talking about Christian Roland Wallace. I'm like, well, maybe he's going to be a safety. And so I got to tell you, if they're putting him at safety and Chamari Connor in the slot, I am going to lose my mind. Like, it would have to be like a bit at this point. Like, just play Chamari Connor at safety, where he's fine, by the way. Like, he's fine there. Play him there. It needs, that is one thing that needs to stop immediately.
I agree. I do think that, and I don't know if you caught what I said, and when I said it, I was like, well, I shouldn't have said that. Mike Edwards' number is not good. 34 for a safety is not a good number. And then if he makes the roster, Matty was like, maybe he'll change his number if he makes the roster. And I said 26 is about to be available. And I was like, damn. It's like I didn't mean to shit on DM Push like that.
Edwards, he was 21 the first time.
He was 21, yeah.
So now Hicks is.
He's a ball hawk though too, and like that's the other thing is that the dude knows how to force turnovers. I tried to come to his defense a little bit too because like when Buffalo cut him, I was like, hey, he played pretty good in Tampa after the Tampa reclaimed him.
He's just the kind of guy, and I'll admit I have a soft spot for guys like this. He's the kind of dude in a playoff game. I know that if he reads the keys right, like he's just going to end up being exactly where he should be, like big boss. Like
yeah.
I don't want him playing 85% of the snaps by any means, but it's like, look, man, he's your third safety, like maybe even your fourth. Like I just can't get worked up. Again, I always try to tell people, and like I have the luxury of being able to, I'm in Minnesota, like I cover the whole thing, so I see all these different teams. The Chiefs are so unbelievably fortunate to have the problems that they have. It's like, oh boy, I'll tell you what, I don't know who the hell is going to be wide receiver 6. I don't know who the fourth corner is going to be. I don't know who the fourth safety is going to be. Like, you have real, like the Lions were like a contending team who are like, we have no idea who anyone on defense is. It's, the Bills are sitting there going like, oh my God, if Shedeur is going to miss time with his ankle, it's Joshua Palmer, Keon Coleman, and Curtis Samuel as your 3 starting receivers. Dude, it's brutal. Like, if really think about this. If Shaquille's not on the field week 1 when they play Baltimore, their number 1 receiving option is Joshua Palmer. I would argue legitimately, if the Chiefs had, if Rice wasn't suspended, assuming if Joshua Palmer was on the Chiefs, he might be the 5th receiving option on a given play. Like Worthy, Rice, Hollywood, Kelsey. He is the number 1 option on the Bills' offense if Shedeur is down. Like,
right.
And like I totally understand it, but like Chiefs fans are sitting here like, oh my God, like what if Christian Roland Wallace doesn't work out? It's like they're going to win 14 games anyway.
Right? Yeah.
Like nothing's going to happen. I mean, even the Eagles are figuring out half their defense right now. And the Chiefs they don't like. Well, there are always problems like left guard, stuff like that. We'll see what happens. Yeah. But you can always mask like a handful of things. The problem becomes when like your entire offensive line's a disaster, like it was by the end of the season last year, outside of like the 2 interior guys. But I digress. The Chiefs should feel pretty good about where they are.
They should. We got some headlines to hit, some quick hitters, some things that have happened in preseason games to talk about. We got our Bozo of the week out of the way with the Towneplace Suites by Marriott.
Unbelievable. By the way, he spelled town with an E at the end. It's just a disgrace.
That's awful.
I didn't realize I was in England.
Right. That's loser mentality right there by the Towneplace Suites.
Yeah.
But
we're gonna put an E at the end, like the country that lost the war. We won the war, so we got to put an E at the end.
Unreal.
It's bullshit.
It is. All right, we're going to take a break. On the other side, we'll talk about what's going on around in the NFL and much more. Chiefs.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story, like Brain Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brain Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Folks, nothing beats hanging out with the boys on a hot summer day and watching some baseball. And the simplest way that you all can get in on the action is to download the Pick 6 app from DraftKings. It is crazy simple. Just pick more or less on the stats for 2 or more of your favorite players, and boom, you're in the mix for big cash prizes. And the best part is, Pick 6 is available right here in Missouri. Don't miss out on the fun. Don't settle for a smaller payout. Switch to Pick 6, and right now, new customers can get $25 in bonus picks with their first deposit of $5. Here's what you got to do. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and then use code KCSN. That's code KCSN for new customers to get $25 in bonus picks with their first deposit of $5. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Bonus picks expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see pick6.draftkings.com/promos. Matt, I don't know if you know this, but we are doing the KCSN Foundation pre-tourney raffle. Our golf tournament coming up right around the corner on August 18th. But if you cannot make it out to the golf tournament, because we are locked, I think we're full to the gills with the golf tournament. So we appreciate all the support there. But if you still want to support us, we are doing this raffle here. You can win a Chris Jones signed white jersey and Xavier Worthy rookie card that is a graded 10. I know those card people, they love them graded 10s there. That could be worth some money here in a little bit. Private tour for 10 at Holiday Distillery, a Dwayne Bowe signed red jersey, a Rasheed Rice signed white jersey. You can get a ticket for $10, 7 tickets for $50, or 20 tickets for $100. You can Venmo at KC Sports Network or go to givebutter.com/KCSN Golf. Winners will be drawn on that football show on August 16th, Matt. So you and I we'll be throwing up the wheel on our show that we do after the Chiefs preseason game on Friday. We're going to record that on Saturday. There's no shot that we are staying up after the post-game shows that we respectively do and then do that. We are recording that probably Saturday mid-morning.
That game, okay, I'm going to drive 5 hours on Friday from Bears practice to the lake house in Wisconsin, where I'm going to find my wife, my 2 daughters, and her entire family. Do you know how much I'm going to drink during that game? You know what that post-game show is going to sound like if I was on that show?
Yeah, brutal. But we will be drawing the winner
on Saturday.
Yeah. We'll have a podcast out. And look, we got to give the post-game show enough time to breathe, right, on the timeline. So we got to make sure people can get the down. So that's all problem.
Time to give me to breathe.
That show's not gonna go out until that post-game show might not be done until Saturday morning. So we gotta give it a little bit of space. We'll draw the winners. We're gonna have some fun with it. We'll have the wheel of names up there, Matt, and we'll give some of that good stuff away. But appreciate everybody. So that will be done before our golf tournament kicks off. So if you want to support us, go to givebutter.com/KCSN Golf. Get your tickets there. Venmo, KC Sports Network. All goes to a great cause as well here at KC Sports Network and our foundation. All right, Matt. Let's get into some quick hitters. Or jotted down just a few headlines from the weekend that was of the games we had. We had a full slate of preseason games. It was nice to see, even though there were some not very good games. I do enjoy that they all end in ties, though. They don't have overtime. They're just like, yeah, just end in a tie. You don't know how hard I was rooting for the Chiefs game to end in a walk-off field goal that was a tie. Like that, how funny would that be? That would have been so funny.
The whole thing's just great.
Yeah.
They should play double overtime preseason. I don't care.
Sudden death. They do the instead of a coin toss, they do the XFL where they drop the ball out of a helicopter and whoever recovers it wins the game.
They should do the coin toss for no other reason, just to give Kyle Shanahan some practice at overtime.
Great point. Kyle Shanahan does need some coin toss or some refresher on overtime rules. But let's start here with the Tom Brady statue. I don't know if you saw the unveiling of the Tom Brady statue. The head is a little small on it, right?
It's a very low energy statue.
It's also fucking huge.
It is huge. Like, look, to be fair, I've seen many statues that are far, far worse.
100%.
I want to be fair to the sculptor. Like, the guy did, like, it looks like Tom Brady, to be fair. Like, but I was just like, shouldn't it be him like throwing a pass or like doing his patented, like, celebration or, let's go thing that he used to do, like, I just, like, when the Chiefs eventually do a statue the size of Arrowhead Stadium for Mahomes. Although, is Clark gonna shell that out? Is that gonna be taxpayer funded?
Jackson County's gonna pay for that one.
Jackson County's about ready to have another special session. But like, I feel like it's got to be either like an emotive Mahomes or Mahomes like making an off balance throw or something. Like, it can't just be Mahomes just like standing there. It's got to be something like make it like an iconic play, like him like running into the end zone against the Titans, or like his left-handed pass against Denver or something. Like something that you're like, oh yeah, remember when, and not just like, oh, look at that, it's him standing there like a practice.
Right.
That's my big issue with the Brady statue.
I think it's a good point. Like, if you go out to Kauffman Stadium and they've got the statues out there in the outfield, you got Frank White turning a double play. You got George Brett in his batting stance, right? You got I think Dick Hauser's out there. He's standing on a step, right? Yeah. So like, you got these guys doing what they do. That's a good call on that. I just thought Brady's head was a bit small proportionally to like his whole body. It just seemed kind of a little out of place.
Yeah, I saw him take a shot at Jets fans, which I appreciated.
Yeah, they need a little humbling. Jets fans notoriously.
Somewhere Fireman Ed was irate.
Oh, he was so pissed.
Take a shot, It's like go home, Fireman Ed.
Go to a fire station. Next story I have here, I wrote written down. Shedeur Sanders, he played in his preseason game, and he got a Nike ad for his preseason performance.
Awesome, great.
Yeah.
Look, this is going to come off like a hater, and that's fine. I'm not, but fine. He threw for 6 yards an attempt against Carolina.
Yeah.
And, like, he should have been picked off at least once. Like, you could even argue twice, but certainly once. And you get all these people who go on Twitter, and this is, of all the things with Twitter, of many that I can't say, that this is the thing that drives me the most nuts. People start taking, it was like the most predictive thing in the world. Like, if you made like one decent throw, people are just going to like, oh, everybody in the league was wrong. It's like, bro, he was like a guy in the game. He actually watched the game, threw 6 yards an attempt. And like his touchdown pass, it was a nice throw in the sense like he feathered it in there. He also threw it like 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like against like Trent McDuffie, that ball's going the other direction. And like, look, it's fine. Like, he made a nice throw. He beat the guys who were on the field. And I'm not saying he played poorly. He didn't play poorly.
No.
But he just kind of played like a guy. Like, it's not like it's not like he went out there and he was like 10 of 12 for 200 yards, and you're like, oh my God, like what? Like, how did the league miss? Like, yeah, okay, he looked fine. Like, I don't know. Like, it was fine. It was okay. Like, I watched every snap of it and felt like, all right, like, sure. Like, if Dylan Gabriel played like that, does anybody care?
Probably not.
Right. Then that's my point. Like, if Sanders played that well, that like it was like worthy of everybody going crazy, then like the same should be true. Like if Dylan Gabriel plays like that, you know, like, oh, like what happened? Like he was fine. He threw for 6 yards an attempt.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. It's Cleveland. Call me when Cleveland is meaningfully playing football after Halloween.
I do think, and I think we might have had a conversation about this on the podcast. I don't think he should have been a 5th round pick. I don't think he should have been a 1st round pick though either. So like,
I agree with you. I think he should have been like a day 2 pick.
Yeah. And so like that to some extent, I understand like why him and people around him and people who support him are you know, obviously excited about what he did against Carolina.
But defense on earth. Yes.
Yeah. But you know, good for him. I'm glad that Nike had it ready so they could capitalize on the social media moment. Yeah. Shout out to Nike. Also, shout out Caden Davis, Northwest Missouri State Bearcat, catching Shedeur Sanders' first touchdown. He's been around. He bounced around. I think he was with Detroit for a little bit, maybe even Denver as well. But now he's in Cleveland. Hopefully he can stick around and for a while. But I think he had 2 touchdown catches in that game. So shout out to Caden Davis.
It's also too like, and I'll make it quick, but I feel like with the Sanders thing, like to your point, I agree with you. Like he should have been a 5th round pick. However, the one thing I will not hear are these people who are like, well, you know, the NFL, like they just, you know, they wanted to punish him. They wanted to send him a message because of his interviews. Bro, I'll tell you something right now. As somebody who talks to all these teams in the league, they wouldn't give 2 shits about any of that if they thought he could go out and be a star quarterback. Do you know how hard it is to find a star quarterback in the NFL? Okay, these guys would drag themselves naked across broken glass to find a quarterback who's even like Dak Prescott's level. Like they know that without a guy like that, they're screwed. They're getting fired in 3 to 4 years.
Yeah,
max. Like that's going to happen. Okay, so that is unless you're Chris Ballard, in which case you can do that for 25 years and it's fine. But it's, you know, if any of these teams thought Shedeur Sanders was a franchise level quarterback, they would have hopped on that train instantly. Now, doesn't mean they're not wrong. They could be wrong. Hell, I mean, look, Mahomes went 10th. I would argue that's more egregious than Sanders going to 5th round. Like, now, at the time it wasn't. At the time, people thought the Chiefs reached. But looking back, I mean, the Bengals had a spot ahead of the Chiefs in that draft and took John Ross.
Yeah.
And then the Bills were on the clock and were like, here you go. Shout out to Doug Whaley, former GM. And they got fired the next day. Just an amazing job by the Bills. But in any event,
yeah, I didn't know that.
Let him make that trade and then fired him.
Wow.
It's an all-time. But yeah, a good job at it. But yeah, like, you know, listen, in all honesty, I'm rooting for the guy. Like any young player, like I hope he has a great career. But let's celebrate like actual like success and not like I threw the ball 15 feet a shot against Carolina. Like just calm down a little bit.
Yeah. One that I don't think we need to calm down and actually probably needs a little bit more attention. Cam Little hit a 70-yard field goal.
Yeah, I saw that. That's with like a decent amount of room to spare.
Yeah, and it like I don't know what the weather conditions were like. If he had a lot of wind at his back, which you would kind of maybe anticipate he did, but that thing was true, and it didn't really. It was good the whole way.
So a 70-yard field goal would mean that you're snapping that ball from your own 48-yard line. Like Jacksonville's just in range if they cross their own 45.
That's a weapon.
You know, it's funny. Everybody always makes fun of like kicking, like the kicking game.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly, I've never understood that. Like if there was a kicker, and it would have to be a really, really special kicker. But like, if there was a guy coming out of college, you're like, this is like maybe the best college kicker of all time or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'd take that guy in the 2nd round. How valuable has Butker been over the years to Kansas City?
It's true.
Like,
Yeah.
if they drafted Butker in the second round, would that be a ridiculous pick?
They've taken worse second rounders.
Bro, they've taken worse first rounders. Hey, like, they've taken worse guys in the top 5 in my lifetime. Shout out Tyson Jackson. Okay. Like, it had to be said, man. Like,
Yeah.
But my point is, like, yeah, like, punters, look, punters certainly matter as well, but it's a little different. They're not scoring points for you. Like,
Right.
dude, you have a great kicker, and you have a kicker with a really big, like, let's look at Super Bowl 58. There is no chance in hell the Chiefs win that game without Harrison Butker. None.
Right.
They won that game because that guy can kick a 58-yard field goal in the Super Bowl like it's nothing. Okay. That, like, if, hell, I think we probably both feel the same way about this without asking you, but, like, Tyler Bass, not to pick on him, but he misses that field goal. He makes it. It's a tie game. Maybe they win that game. Who knows? No, I don't think they would have. I think Chiefs probably scored. But, like, the point is, the kickers, Matt, dude, that kid Little, if you can, in a real game, if you're down 2 points and you stall out at the 50 with 2 minutes left, like, you're trotting that guy out there. Like,
yeah,
it's a huge advantage to have. You're shaving 10, 15 yards off where you got to normally get to have any shot. So, yeah, I agree, man. I think having a guy like that is very meaningful, especially if you're a team that you anticipate being good. You're like, look, that could be the difference between, win the division or being a wild card team or being in the playoffs and not getting there at all.
100%. So I was super impressed by that. I need to talk to, actually, I should send Mia O'Brien a message because I'm sure she was out there, and I should ask, hey, when is back? Because I just want to know. I just want to know what the conditions were. It's like
a hurricane coming off the was that aided by 40-mile-an-hour sustained winds at all times?
Because that's like, we've never seen that before. And so, like, how did he make it so easy? That's the thing for me is, like, I feel like there has to be other external factors that played into
I'll tell you what, though, man, like, the point, when I was there on Wednesday and they were indoors, obviously there's no wind or anything, Butker was smoking field goals from that distance, like over lines, like over the line. It wasn't like it was just like him in the holder.
Mm-hmm.
And, he missed some of them too, but it is, I don't know how the hell those guys kick the ball that far. Like, really, when you're there in person, you see the distance that thing's got to cover.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. So I thought that was one of the things that really popped me there from preseason. Other thing that really popped me, CeeDee Lamb got drilled. He wasn't playing in a preseason game, but he apparently was full on contact as he was inactive. He took a hit and also drew a penalty because he got in the ref's way after. Who was it that someone obviously on the Cowboys got behind the defense, so he was celebrating on the sideline. Ref comes up, boom, barrels him over. Legitimately so funny.
Cowboys just off to a great start this year.
They really are.
That team is interesting, to say the least. Yeah, it's like, okay. I don't know what to say about them that hasn't already been said. But yeah, that seems like a perfect encapsulation of everything that's gone on with them to this point.
The only thing I think that would have been a little bit more like, oh yeah, it's totally Cowboys feel like would have got hurt. Like CeeDee gets hurt by getting hit by an official.
Yeah, the poor guy gets struck by an official and it blows out an ankle or something.
Right. Daniel Jones will start the second preseason game for the Packers.
Yeah. No, for the Colts.
Or yeah, for the Colts against
the Packers. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I meant. Last one. Oh no, that was the last one. Actually, was the Daniel Jones one. So, yeah. Anything else from the preseason games? I know Travis Hunter debuted on both offense and defense. It wasn't
not really. But I mean, it seems like Spencer Rattler's going to start for the Saints, or at least that's the way it's trending.
Yeah, I did see that. Good for Spencer. Not really good for the Saints, though.
Not good for Tyler Shuck, who's 37 years old and not starting.
About to get his AARP card before his rookie year's up. I tweeted this out, and I think that you and I have talked about this before on the show, but I went through and I double checked it. The Chiefs have to have the best 1-2 line in the NFL, right, at quarterback. I don't think there's a better 1-2 line considering they have the best one quarterback. They probably have the best two quarterback as well.
He's pretty close. He's not. Yeah, he's top 5.
I mean, you're not going to give a nod to the Bills room of Allen and Trubisky because, right? You're not going to give a nod to Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush isn't better than Gardner Minshew.
And he's with Baltimore.
Yes, he's with Baltimore with Lamar.
He's not good.
I mean, the only other one that I think might be because Marcus Mariota is dog water too.
How do you feel about Tanner McKee, who apparently is worth the first-round pick?
Tanner McKee apparently is God's gift to football. I know we kind of talked about this a little bit on the last show because I think that game was happening as we were recording our last show.
It was like they just got in their first team off the field.
Yeah.
Bang.
But we didn't get to talk about how people were crowning Tanner McKee the best quarterback ever to walk this earth. I don't know.
I wouldn't even say it was. Maybe I said in the last show if I did, fine, whatever. There's a buddy of mine who covers the Eagles who was like, I would turn down a second-round pick for Tanner McKee. I was like, what?
Good Lord, dude. Here's a serious question. Do you think that the Eagles still win the Super Bowl if they had Tanner McKee as their quarterback?
God, no.
Team was stacked.
No, I don't think they make the playoffs. Like Jalen Hurts does a lot. That doesn't go into yardage. But no, look, I will say this. Like, I forget the Tanner McKee thing's that whole conversation. I mean, you got people tweeting out like, who would he start for? I'm like, okay, it's time to get off the line. But dude, like the Bengals. Did you actually watch that game?
No, I didn't.
The replay of that it is jarring how horrific they are defensively. Like there are times where Will Shipley is. I mean, Tucker, I swear to God, you were like 15, 20 yards out of it. It's unbelievable. I mean, there are holes that are 10 yards wide.
Right.
There, like, just the whole line gets washed to one side. Jamar Stewart's just on the ground rolling. I mean, it is. I came away from that. I never, ever, ever have any like firm takeaway from week 1 of the preseason. Like, it just doesn't matter enough.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you, my one like really close to being firm takeaway, they're going to have to score 35 points a game. Like, I have no idea how a team stops anybody. They are, it's bad. Like when you're getting lit up by a second string team, you know it's real bad when that second string quarterback who's never done anything in an NFL game, people are like, I'll tell you what, I'd turn down a top 40 pick for him. Wait, I mean, it was. You go watch that game. Like that's the other thing about the McKee thing that kind of made me laugh. Like, go watch the throws he's made. These guys are open by 10 yards. Like it's. I mean, Gardner Minshew, I think, would have thrown for 400 and a half. It's unbelievable how bad the Bengals are. It's genuinely jarring how bad they are.
I'll have to go watch it.
Dude, oh my God. Like the run game, as bad as they are on pass defense, the run gaps are like laugh out loud funny. Just huge holes. If I'm a Bengals fan, I would sit there and go, well, it's a great thing that the offense looks unbelievable because they better be.
Their offense did look good, to be fair.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to score 35. And by the way, last year they scored 30 4 times when they lost.
Wow.
Like, they're going to have to score 35 plus. They're going to have to with that defense. They have no shot in hell as anybody with an offense if they don't score 30 some odd points.
Well, it's going to be fun to watch the Bengals play this year, I think, just because of that factor. I'm scanning again. I'm still scanning my list here. The only other one I could come up with that it's not close, but Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston is a pretty fun 1-2 combo as well.
Yeah, but they're both not good. So
right. That's the other thing that like it's fun, not good, but fun.
Yeah, it's like that's
Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett,
not fun or good.
Right, that's the opposite. I need to make like those quadrant charts of just like good and fun. Patrick Mahomes and Gardner Minshew, and then good and bad, or fun and bad, and then bad and bad. And I'll make one of those quadrant charts and tweet it out. That'll be fun.
There you go.
All right, I think that's going to do it for this week's edition of That Football Show, this Monday edition. I got to get used to stop saying this week's. We've been doing two days a week, Matt, for months now. And I still, every time we end an episode, I always say this week. So I got to get my act together before the season starts. You guys also got to make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so you guys do not miss an episode. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We'll be back after the Chiefs play on Friday. So we will not have a Friday episode, as we were talking about earlier.
It's Saturday afternoon. We will be back.
We will be back.
We just don't know when.
We'll be back after the Chiefs play the Seahawks. So that's why you have to subscribe so you know when we drop a podcast.
That's right.
Because...
Once I come to, we'll jump on the podcast.
Exactly. So from Verderame, I'm Tucker Franklin. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us on this Monday. We'll see you soon.